What's up, my dudes? This is Mounts of Fairy Tales. We are only a couple of days away from New Year's, but this crazy exploit, or, highly optimized setup of the temple, this situation has been running wild in the Path of Exile 2 community the last couple of days. Fubgun has released a video on how you can optimize your temple, set it up, and make close to 100 divines per hour. So I'm asking the question, is this an exploit, or is this just highly optimized gameplay? Okay, like super smart, highly optimized gameplay. I know that the opinions about this topic are kind of split, but I want to see for myself, and I want to react to this video that Fubgun just released, the guide, what is it called? Over 100 divines per hour with the best farm in Path of Exile 2 temple guide. So let's dive into it, my dudes, and have a look for ourselves.
Divine. Tink.
Boom, that's like...
Tink.
Oh, wow. Freaking divines all over the place here.
Tink. Tink. Perfect X.
Oh my god.
Tink.
Oh my god, bro. Look at that.
Tink.
Look at that drop
Perfect
right there.
X.
Perfect Exalted, Greater Iron Rune, Perfect Orb of Augmentation, Chaos Orb, and another Perfect Orb of Augmentation. Just like... what? Just from like one pack here.
Tink. Another perfect X. The mirror drop is gonna happen. Another perfect X. Another Tink.
Bro, divines dropping like crazy.
Another Tink.
Bro, is this like one run?
Divine. Two divines on screen. That
Oh my
was
God.
8 raw divines, 4 perfect X, 1 perfect chaos.
Oh my god.
Ring, Calandra's touch. Yo, that's my first time dropping Calandra's touch. Like, Calandra's touch is like more rare than a tier 1. Like, it's more rare than Headhunter. I'd say going for 5 spots is pretty good. Tink? Another Tink?
Bro, this is just...
Good night, good night.
Oh my god,
Headhunter.
that was
shit.
two
We dropped
divines.
Headhunter.
A
Second
freaking
Headhunter.
Headhunter?
Was my ring saver currency? We're at 388. I'm pretty sure we started a day with like 230 raw divines.
Oh my
So we dropped like
God.
over 150 raw divines already. And it's only going to grow higher and higher as we build a bigger snake. Divine.
So, I mean, we need to discuss something. It's like... if this isn't like an... like, if we think of this as like an exploit, right? It has to be so insane and so like freaking crazy that it's like... but I mean, I kind of like want to see drops like this. I want to reach a level on my character where I actually see drops like this. I just had to chip in and say that.
Another Calandra's touch? Alright. This is way more insane than Abyss, man. And we're not even... our temple's not even done being set up. Guys, Jonathan coded the temple.
Oh my
2
God.
divines? Jonathan wants this. He coded the temple. He personally coded the temple for us.
Jonathan wants this? I mean, I want this too, bro.
Make it good. Divine. 7 annuls, 12 raw divine.
But I mean, this is how it should be, right? Like, it should be like this. Like, you should really be able to, like, get your freaking hands on, like, the really nice items. If your build, like, can handle, like, the highest, kind of like the highest level of content, right? You should be able to do this. Like, you should be able at some point. I mean, should you be able to do this, like, 2 weeks into a league? Well...
Hey guys, so I want to make a quick video going over the best farm in the game and the best farm to ever exist, and that is the Vaal Temple. This is more insane than the Abyss farm we had like on day 3 or 4. It's more insane than the Breach farm we had in 0.1. It is by far the best farm to ever exist in the game. As of today, I have farmed roughly around 200 raw divines.
Oh my
Will be
God.
even higher tomorrow because my temple is fully built up. Also have this quick text document here that I'll go over and also show off my temple and some tips to do as well. But first things first, I do.
Bro, look at this. Like, look at all the rooms here. Bro, these are so many rooms. These are so many rooms. Like, how many rooms? And how is he bumping up? I don't understand this. How is he bumping up his crystals to like? How can he actually keep 60 crystals? I don't understand. That's pretty insane. Because usually when I go out in a map, I'm only able to like I'm doing 6 and then I have to do the map. I don't understand how does he have like 60 capacity here?
Want to give a big shout out to a Milky BK. He also made a full temple guide where he goes very well in depth. So if you're completely new, you don't know what to do with your temple, I would highly recommend to watch this video. I learned a lot from him for my temple building. I want to go over my experience in this video. So yeah, big shout out to Milky BK. He's pretty good at temple. He's been doing it for quite a while since League start. So yeah, I would watch this video if you do want a complete in-depth guide. But yeah, let's go over my temple.
Okay, so Milky BK is actually also something that we can actually check out and see, like for like a better understanding of the temple, I think, because I feel like right now when I'm doing the temple, bro, it's like it's freaking like it's random almost, because I don't understand like the mechanic fully.
Max my raw divine drops. So right now I'm dropping roughly 10 to 15 raw divines per temple. And roughly, you know, like 2 or 3 perfect exalts, maybe like 1 perfect chaos. It's
okay. What did it say? What did it say? How many?
It's per temple drops. So right now I'm dropping roughly 10 to 15 raw divines per temple.
Okay, so 10 to 15 raw divines per temple. But I mean, if his temple looks like this, like all these freaking rooms right here. I mean, how many are there? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because there's like 9. Okay, so this is 9, this is 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and 39. Yeah, so roughly like around like 50 rooms, basically, like 50 rooms or something. So with 50 rooms like this, and like the way he's setting them up and like connecting them, I guess, is so I see a lot of these rooms are like tier 3 and stuff, and yeah, let's see if he's actually gonna like explain more.
And roughly, you know, like 2 or 3 perfect exalts, maybe like 1 perfect chaos. It's honestly really insane. I'm definitely making somewhere over 25 plus like divine profit per temple. It really is just that insane.
Oh my god.
So yeah, as you can see in my temple currently, we have a ton of monster effectiveness. We have a ton of increased number of rare monsters.
Yeah, bro, I mean, look at all these mods right here. More monster life, increased pack size, increased number of magic monsters, increased 2,630% increased number of rare monsters, 61% increased rarity, shocked ground, less effect of curses on monsters, less recovery rate of life and energy shield, increased waste stones, increased number of monster packs, almost 300% increased number of monster packs, extra, okay, so monsters deal extra damage as fire, monsters have increased stun threshold, increased ailment threshold, 150% increased gold found, 97% increased amount of rare chests, and also we have like all these like additional modifiers, bro. This is a long list right there.
We have a good amount of rarity, still need more rarity.
Oh
yeah, just a ton of like overall loot multipliers, making so just dropping a ton of raw divines per temple. And as you probably saw at the start of the video, I was just dropping a ton of raw divines. Every single run is honestly just insane. I've been shooting this all day, building up my temple, and it's still not quite finished, and it's still so much more loot multipliers to get. You can upgrade each room by 1 level. So I think my temple currently is still only at like half at max value.
Oh, wow.
You can honestly min-max this so much more.
Bro, only half? So he's making like 10 to 15 raw divines every map. or like every run. And it's only half, so he could be making like 20 to 30 div per run.
What I have, and I'll go over in this video on what to do. So first things first, if we're gonna temple juice for max raw divine drops, there's a few things to understand here, and it's the monster loot multipliers. So monster loot multipliers, there's 3 main ones, at least in this temple form. We have area rarity. This is this modifier right here. Increase rarity of items found in this area. This one is really rare in temples. You mostly only get it from the sealed vault. Nothing else really gives it. So it is a pretty premium stat when you.
Okay, so you get it from this specific, from the vault specific. So if you place a vault in your map, like that really boosts up your rarity, it seems. Like the area rarity.
You do find it. There is monster effectiveness. This is the old quant stat.
Okay, so monster effectiveness actually is the quant. Okay. So it means like it's kind of like adding to like how many. It's like you push up the rarity to get like better loot, and the quantity is like how much of the better loot you're actually getting. And monster effectiveness is actually a quant loot multiplier. Okay.
It does the exact same thing as quant, except it also increases the HP and EXP of monsters as well. So it's another high value stat. I have somewhere over 1,000% monster effectiveness for humanoid monsters, and majority of the monsters you kill are humanoid. Monster rarity, this is also another really high stat. This is multiplicative with area rarity and also multiplicative with player rarity, so keep that in mind. These are all.
Okay, so area rarity, monster effectiveness, monster rarity, those are stats you really want to get.
Multipliers, additional monster modifier. So this should be added with monster rarity and monster effectiveness, because a +1 monster modifier is essentially just monster quant and monster rarity. And then the last one, which is like a separate loot multiplier, is increased number of rare monsters.
Okay, so increased number of rare monsters as well. But also like this stat that has like additional monster modifier should be additive with monster rarity and monster effectiveness. Okay. So it's actually adding on top of that. Okay, Holton. Okay, how to ease. Okay, so he's gonna go through this, bro. It's just like my mind is racing. Okay, let's keep listening what he has to say.
About rare monsters that spawn in temple. So I'm talking about this first because this is something to think about when building a temple. You want to make sure you have all these multipliers and all, pretty well even and pretty high up there.
So I'm thinking like even though some people might call this an exploit, it's like these monster loot multipliers that he is actually going through here. The area rarity, the monster effectiveness, the monster rarity, the additional monster modifier, and the increased number of rare monsters. These should apply to like, I mean, they should even apply to maps, right? So if you understand these modifiers and what they actually do, like if you understand them in maps, I mean, basically you would understand them in the temple as well, right? Or just like in general. So these modifiers are something that we want to look at, or like that we want to, we want them to like, we want everything we run to have like area rarity, monster effectiveness, monster rarity, additional monster modifier, and increased number of rare monsters. Like this is something that I'm actually making like kind of like a mental note on, to be honest.
Because they're all multipliers, right? Like having like 1,000% monster quant, but only like 50% monster rarity is usually going to perform worse than like 600% monster quant and 600% monster rarity. So keep in mind when building your temple that you really want all these multipliers at a high value. You should not neglect any of this.
And then is the question, like, how do we get these multipliers specifically, right? That's the question. Like, how do we get them?
Of course, area rarity is the one you can't really farm and it's hard to get. But, when you see those sealed vaults, place them down for extra.
Yeah, so right here, increased rarity of items dropped by monsters, right? So we want this in. But I'm guessing, like, this is not only for the room itself, it's for the freaking entire temple, right? It seems like that's the case. So 25% increased rarity of items dropped by monsters. It's not specifically for this room only. is for the freaking entire temple, if I'm understanding it correctly.
Rarity. Second thing I want to talk about real quick is how to easily farm temple runs. So you can watch my video from yesterday on the halter runs and interlude map. You can either do this yourself on a low character, or you can buy 60 crystals, which is 10 temple runs, for 6 to 10.
Okay, so you can buy 60 crystals? How? Are the crystals like itemized?
Divines, people sell them in like trade chat or TFT, or if you're level 73 or under, you can reset yourself. Once again, refer to my video from yesterday. You can also easily farm them in maps as well, although it will take longer. Essentially, you will just do maps, go to a tower, run the grand project. You can click every single area around the grand project map. You stack light radius, you rush to a stone circle and leave. This is a pretty effective strat if you don't want to do the Holton strat, or if the Holton strat does get fixed. They might fix it, they might not, who really knows. But yeah, this grand project strat for maps is another effective way.
Okay, so I don't understand this. What is this grand project?
Way to also form.
What?
Go to a tower, run the grand project. You can click every.
Go to the tower, run the grand project. What is the grand project? Okay, I need to figure out what is actually the grand project. Oh, the Grand Project Precursor tablet. Okay. Can only be applied to Precursor tower maps. Completing the tower makes all nearby maps accessible. Adds irradiated to a map. Okay. Okay, completing all the towers make all the okay, so I don't understand like exactly how this works, but like completing the tower makes all nearby maps accessible. Okay, so that means that you don't actually have to like travel from one to the other. I mean, you can just access any of them. Is that what this means? Okay, I don't understand this.
Every single area around the grand project map. You stack light radius, you rush to the stone circle and leave. This is a pretty effective.
Yeah, I mean, rushing to the stone circle and leave, that's kind of like, I mean, obviously, like you're only like looking for the temple stone circle or like the sacrifice circle thing. That's like the only thing you go for, and you just leave.
Strat if you don't want to do the Holton strat, or if the Holton strat does get fixed. They might fix it, they might not, who really knows. But yeah, this grand project strat for maps is another effective way to also form stone circles. Now let's actually talk about the temple and the tips I'm going to give you here in this video. So the ideal start chain and snake tips. So how the temple works in the TLDR is that if you have one long chain, as you can see here, I'll go over the whole chain. You can see it's quite long, and this is ideally what you want to do. Rooms between this right here, this arsenal and this garrison, cannot be destroyed unless this arsenal is destroyed first. Okay. So what does this mean?
What?
This means if you have one lock medallion, I have none right here, but I did lock this room, as you can see, right, a little like lock icon right there. This means as long as I lock this room and nothing else is connected, nothing can be destroyed in this chain.
Oh
ever.
my god, bro.
Yeah, I do have to lock it every single run.
What? Okay. So if you make this long line, this really long line, right, of like connected rooms, and you take like the last room that is connected to that long line and you lock it, that means that nothing in that line can basically be destroyed, if I understand it correctly. But how do you lock a room like this?
Because I have so many runes, I get tons and tons of medallions every single run. I always get a lock, and I can always lock this every single run. So that's something you want to keep in mind here. You want to build one long snake chain, and then always lock the room at the end. And therefore nothing else in between can be destroyed. Make sure these rooms do not connect to anything else. So you don't want to get this, like, for example, if this arsenal connected to this apex sacrificial chamber, that would be terrible, because all these rooms could get destroyed if it was connected. So yeah, make sure they're not connected to anything else. It's a single length chain, and they don't touch anything else. Now, of course, there is the architect, and the architect has a special rule. As long as you never do it, never walk into the room. If you accidentally walk into the room, just Alt F4 honestly and go back to town. It's not worth the risk. But yeah, as long as you never do Architect, you are fine. You can connect it to Architect. Now with the Architect though, these other 3 squares you cannot use any longer. So these 3 squares are forever dead in my temple. But this is going to be true for every single temple setup. It doesn't really matter where the Architect spawns. It will always have 3 dead squares and only 1 you can utilize. But yeah, make sure this connects to nothing else. For example, I went down here for my snake chain and connected over here. That will completely break my temple. You do not want to connect this to anything else. So let's talk about the ideal start chain, at least in my opinion. So I think the most ideal start chain you can do is a Garrison Spy Master into Garrison setup. So the reason why I think this is the best setup you can do is I can see here, it says high chance for advanced medallions, high chance for Dulothles medallions, and then once again, advanced medallions. So if you do the setup at the start, you have 3 high chances for medallions, which greatly increases your chance to get that lock medallion, which keeps your chain safe.
Oh, okay. So the lock is actually a medallion. The lock is a medallion. Okay, I understand. So what you basically want to do is that you want to kind of like play it safe. Like you try to place out the rooms that have the highest chance of actually dropping a lock, right? And because that's kind of like how you save that line not being destroyed.
The start of the chain is the hardest to do, and it takes the most amount of effort and most amount of work. Once your chain gets around to like around over here, you can start infinitely self-sustaining locks. It becomes really easy to add on and keep going. But at the start, when you don't have any locks, you don't have a lot of rooms, it is quite rough.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like basically, we want to try to build like close to the wall like this. So close to the wall like this. Keep it in a straight freaking line here, right? And lock as we are progressing. Use the lock medallion as often as we possibly can. It seems like that's the thing.
So if you get this chain going, it makes it so much easier to actually.
So basically, the lock medallion is like an advanced medallion, basically.
Start your snake chain. If you could, I would do another armory into another Garrison Spy Master Garrison chain right here. Honestly, my temple doesn't go like that. You can't really pick and choose all the time. You do want to place down rooms as soon as you can, and all these are still good rooms. But yeah, you do want as many Spy Masters at the start as possible.
Okay, so as many Spy Masters at the start as possible. Okay. But just like, we're only like, I don't know, like 10 minutes into this video, and it's like, I'm already feeling like, bro, this is not an exploit. Like, how you are setting up your temple, how you want to set up your temple for like the most profit, bro, that's not an exploit. But like the being able to like mega farm, basically like in Holton, all that, like that part of the, like getting the crystals, I guess, that's like a little weird one. But I still don't understand, like, how can you stack so many freaking crystals, bro? How can you get all these crystals? Like, I'm only able to get like 6 of them at the time, I think, and then I have to do the temple. I don't know. I don't understand like how to upgrade the amount of crystals you can actually hold.
As you can see here, I have like 3 at the start, and this pretty much self-sustained my entire setup for, getting locks and making sure this one chain always stays safe. So yeah, you want as many Spy Masters and Garrison combos as possible, as these drop the bulk of your medallions, and medallions are key. Personally, I would aim for around 6 or so Spy Masters in the overall. I think right now I have 7. But yeah, around 6 should be good enough to self-sustain all the locks you would need. One thing to keep in mind is that once you add a commander to the chain, you can no longer add any more Spy Masters, which is another big reason to start a chain with Spy Masters.
Okay, hold on. What did it say here? Once you add a commander to the chain, you can no longer add more Spy Masters. Okay.
Spy Masters, which is another big reason to start a chain with Spy Masters. So this right here, this commander room, and you can see right here and right here, once this is on your chain, you can no longer add Spy Masters. So it's very important to get as many Spy Masters down as early as possible.
So you want all the Spy Masters in before you start adding commanders.
You do add commander and you can only add spy chains, you're fine because you have enough, right? And commanders are important to add because they do add rare monster effectiveness, so they are quite strong. You don't want to infinitely do spy master runes because once again, going back to step number 1 is the monster loot multipliers. If you only did spy masters, you would only be stacking increased number of rare monsters, which is a good multiplier, but also you need more than increased number of rare monsters. You also need that monster effectiveness. So yeah. Once you're done spy chains, then you can start going for the commanders. At the start...
Okay, so basically what you want to do... Okay, so how many spies does he have in here? 1, 2, 3 in the chain. 4, 5. Okay, so 5. And then there is a commander down here, right? So he has like 5 spy masters in the chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then all the way down here, he has a commander. But from this point on, like, you can't have any more spy masters in the chain. Right? Okay.
When you start doing your temple, you should also start a second chain. So I did the first chain to the right here, and I did my second chain to the left, and then eventually I looped around and I connected the 2 chains together.
Oh my god.
So I'll explain how to do that in a second.
Oh my god. Yeah, okay. So he's starting like 1 chain to the right, 1 chain to the left, and at some point he's freaking connecting them. Bro, that's insane.
Yeah. Start your spy master chain, and anything you have extra, start to the left, and then anything past that, send straight to the middle. It's very important to send stuff straight to the middle. So at the start, you want to build a road completely straight. Don't go left, don't go right. Build the road completely up to the straight. Get around over here, and then start putting like whatever left, buildings you have left, put them all over here, same with roads. The reason why is that when you destabilize the temple, it has a high chance to destabilize stuff to the middle and not to your left or right, which will give you a greater chance of, keeping your chain alive. More importantly, at the start, when you don't have enough lock medallions to keep your chain safe. And I talked about that real quick. Someone has also made an Aziri temple planner. There's also this sheet right here, which I'll link down below. The TLDR of this is what connects with what. I don't know who made this. I don't know who the original person made this. But yeah, Spy Master connects with Garrison, and Garrison connects with Armory. And you can see they both connect to each other. This is very, very useful. Make sure you're only ever doing the important rooms. So the overall top runes is the Spy Master.
Okay. So the top rooms: Spy Master, Garrison, Armory, Alchemy Lab, Corruption Chamber, and Commander.
Garrisons, the Armories, the Alchemy Labs, and the Corruption Chambers, and Commanders.
Okay.
So Commanders give rare effectiveness. Garrisons increase monster effectiveness and normal monster effectiveness. The Legion Barracks, which is what the Garrison turns into as Spy Master, gives a more rare monsters, which is a multiplier. The Armories give humanoid effectiveness, which majority of the monsters you kill are humanoids. This is just pretty much monster effectiveness. Alchemy Lab is monster rarity, so it's very, very strong. And Corruption Chamber is a chance of +1 additional modifier, which is also very strong.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the +1 modifier. Yeah.
Strong. Once again, going back to the monster loot multipliers.
Yeah, so this is important right here. The monster loot multipliers. It's like I really feel like okay, so I'm gonna make a freaking note of this, actually, to be honest. I mean, if you're watching this, you should do the same thing, I think. Because I mean, oh my god, bro. It's like, yeah, this is insane. So the monster loot multiplier. Okay, so we have the area rarity, monster effectiveness, which is the quantifier, right? The monster rarity. The additional monster modifier, which is additive with monster rarity and monster effectiveness, right? And then the increased number of rare monsters. All right. right? So this is super important, my dudes. I think this is something that we, just like in general, like in the game, we need to pay attention to this.
So those are the main rooms you want to stack in your overall temple, and you can use this temple planner to see how you should do it. This temple planner is pretty good. It tells you what connects with what and how to do stuff. So you can't just, like, you know, do stuff wrong. You can build your temple in here as you go and try to figure it out for your maximum snake chain. You can try to copy mine, but it's really hard to copy one-to-one because you kind of add of what you get. For example, early on, I got an alchemy lab here, so I added alchemy.
Yeah, so one thing that's super important is to just remember that when you put a commander in your chain, you won't be able to put any more spy masters. Like, there are some things when you put them in that are actually gonna, you know, prevent you from putting other stuff in, and that's kind of like important. Those things are important to know.
Lab. If I got a garrison, for example, I would have placed garrison here. So yeah, I wouldn't try to copy mine one-to-one. I would use this planner and try to min-max the temple to the best you can.
Okay, so this planner right here, the temple planner, is this easy to... is this going to be easy to just like pull up here? Let me see here. It's the temple PoE 2 temple planner. Yeah, so it is right here. So we have the temple planner right here, which we can actually use, and yeah. In-game logic. Okay, manual placements. Okay. Yeah, so this is going to show us. So if we go in here, and we just pick a, okay, so what do we pick here? Path, I guess, like a path up here, like he did. So what he said is, like, what you want to do is, like, you want to build a path basically up here, like up to this area, right? And then you want to start to make your chain from either side, right? And we do want to put like a spy master down here. And this spy master adds increased effect of temple mods. Okay. Okay, so what else can we put in here? Yeah, so we're just gonna kind of like have to figure out what can we actually put in. I guess it's just gonna be a path, right? Or like what are we able? Oh yeah. Okay, so we can put so a garrison can go in here. Anything else? Okay, now I'm just clicking everything, just kind of like see. Clean tile, yeah, no. Reward room. Yeah, so we could go like a reward room here, right? Okay, what else? Okay, so there are going to be some like very specific things. So we need to make sure that we are actually able to kind of like connect this. Okay, I understand. So I don't think you necessarily like need this planner as soon as you kind of like understand like kind of like what connects and what doesn't. Excuse me. Okay, but this is interesting. The temple planner. You can find it. You just freaking Google PoE 2 temple planner and you will find this. Okay, this is interesting. Yeah, but we need to watch the rest of this video.
As you're going along, once you learn it, it's not that bad and it's not that complicated, but it is kind of hard and rough at the start. Hopefully with my video and also watch Milky's video, you can understand how to juice your temple. And once again, the last thing is protect your rooms. Once again, at the start, you most likely will only say one lock or not even get one lock per run. So you want to focus on your spy master chain. Always protect your spy master chain.
Okay.
If you can get 2 or 3 spy masters, you're golden. You're completely safe. You'll always get like a one lock a run and be completely safe.
Okay.
Before you can protect your spy master chain, you want to make sure you're building towards that middle. Put as much stuff in the middle as possible, as much as you can. So hopefully it takes stuff from the middle and not from your chain. So yeah, that's pretty much about it for this video. I hope I helped explain some stuff. Do watch Milky's video for a full in-depth explanation. Just remember, when you're building your temple is the monster loot multipliers. You really want as many loot multipliers of different multipliers as possible. So, you know, for example, at my chain right now, I feel like I have enough increased number of rare monsters, and I also have a lot of monster effectiveness. So I'm trying to get more monster rarity to get more loot multipliers. But yeah, One thing to note is that when you do have your one long snake chain, you can also build a second chain as well, which is what I'm doing here. This one is not that important to keep alive, and if it does die, it's not a big deal. It's not a big loss because I still have this one long snake chain. Now, one last thing I want to mention is that you can connect two chains together if you have a sacrificial chamber. The reason why is that a sacrificial chamber allows you to sacrifice any room in the temple. So what you can do is if you have one chain going this way and one chain going this way, if they meet up in the middle, you can connect the chain, place down your sac chamber, can be anywhere, and then sacrifice this room or this room. Keep in mind, this can only be done with a sac chamber. If you go around and connect, this start room all the way around to this start room, then everything in the middle will get destroyed. All this will get destroyed. The only reason why this works with a sac chamber is that you can connect them in the middle, which is what I did with these two chains, by the way. And then you place on your sac chamber and you sack that room and it's no longer connected. And then it's just one big long snake chain. So yeah, that's about it. I hope this video helped. I'm also going to do this constantly live on stream if you want to see what I'm doing in Planet on the Temple myself. Once again, do watch the videos. It is a learning process. You will learn how to do this. It is a lot of effort, but it's also the most amount of juice PoE2 has ever gotten, and honestly might be the most amount of juice PoE2 will get for a very long time because it really is just that insane. But yeah, that's about it.
Okay, so I mean, shoutouts to Fubgun. I mean, this is insane. Like, this is crazy. Like, shout out to Fubgun with his temple guide here. I mean, this is just insane. I mean, thank you. I'm gonna give Fubgun a like on this. I mean, this is just insanely crazy. Just like, I think it's really like broken down in kind of like a nice way. I think there's going to be more like strategies coming out of this as well, to be honest. Like, there's probably going to be a lot of like temple strategies, like good things you can do, and yeah. But I mean, shoutouts to Fubgun on this video. Like, one big question that I feel is like really not explained yet is how to freaking increase the amount of crystals that you can actually hold. Because at the moment I can only hold 6 of them. Like, I need to understand how to hold more of the crystals so I can like spend longer in the temple, like setting up basically more stuff. So how do we get more crystals? So I've done a quick search right here on PoE2 Vault right here, and this is kind of like explaining the the mechanic in a basic way. But like, what I really want to understand and know is like, how can we push like the ceiling of how many crystals we can actually keep. So in each zone of the game, you will encounter a Vaal beacon, right? Similar to the Abyss. These beacons will empower nearby monsters with corruption. Slaying all these corrupted monsters will power up the beacon, lighting up one of the 6 crystals, right? Once you've lit them up, doing this 6 times, a portal to the temple will appear, allowing you to begin your exploration, right? Vaal beacons can be located in the minimap by a triangular Vaal temple icon. Okay, this we know. And completion status in maps is also shown in the map mechanic UI with the same icon. In addition to corrupting a few packs of nearby monsters, Vaal beacons will sometimes spawn additional monsters. This usually comes in the form of spawning additional waves of monsters once you killed all the corrupted monsters, like similar to a strongbox. Occasionally, though, the entire beacon will raise up with a unique monster on it for you to kill, dropping a pile of loot. Once you killed all the monsters, be sure to step onto the Vaal beacon in order to activate it. It won't count as complete until you do. At endgame, you can stack up to 10 templates at a time before entering and running your temple, allowing you to just grind out waystones and run your temples at your leisure. Okay, what? I don't understand this. How can we stack them up? How can we stack them up? Okay, closing the temple. Once you're done running the temple, you need to close the temple to finish your run. Closing the temple causes the temple to decay, destroying a number of rooms at random. On a normal temple run, this will only be a few rooms. However, if you access the architect or at 0 rooms, a sizable chunk of your temple will decay. Okay. So I have no idea, still, I feel, like, how to stack this. Okay, how specifically do we stack this? I still don't feel like like I understand how to stack this, basically. I still don't understand. But there is like I gained like some information from this, like about like what's kind of wise to do when you're kind of building it up, but I don't understand how you in endgame can actually increase the number of crystals. So I'm gonna make a quick search here. Okay, how to increase the amount of crystals in temple. Okay, yeah, but I think, my dudes, this is something I'm gonna have to figure out, and then I'm gonna hopefully be able to make like an update video on this. This is gonna be it, my dudes. Is this an exploit? Like, I think specifically what we've been watching right now is not an exploit, right? What we have been watching right now is basically kind of like the strategy of how to set up your temple. But like the exploit or abuse of like Holton, like getting your map or your temples faster. I mean, I guess that's like could potentially be some type of abuse, but like, why is it still a freaking mystery for me? Why can't I find any information about like how to increase the amount of crystals? I'm gonna have to figure this out, my dudes. I'm gonna be sure to try to make an update on this as soon as I can, but for now, what do you think, my dudes? Is this an exploit, or is this just like highly optimizing the game? I mean, this right here that we just seen PubGun doing, I mean, this is just optimizing the temple, in my opinion. What do you guys think? I'm Mouse and Fairy Tales, you are you. I hope to catch you in the next one, but for now, thank you for watching.